We start off this week's Monday Night Raw for July 8th, 2025 with Seth Rollins, the 2025 Mr. Money in the Bank. He makes his entrance flanked by WWE Hall of Famer Paul Heyman, Bron Breakker, and Big Bronson Reed. And he takes a good long pause to let the crowd sing his song. Bron Breakker surprises people by getting on the mic first, saying he has his own vision of him being the top guy for 20 years in a WWE without Sami Zayn. He doesn't like Sami's ugly face, or his stupid beard, or his music, or that people sing it. He says Zayn has an expiration date and he's gonna put a stamp on it tonight. He promises Sammy that if he comes down the ramp, he's gonna maul his head off and leave him looking at the lights by the end of it. Paul slides up beside him and takes the mic while Seth looks on somewhat skeptical but impressed. Rollins takes the mic and asks Breakker if he's good before laughing it off and passing the mic to Bronson Reed. Bronson says Bron is a tough act to follow, but here it is. He hit Rollins with 6 tsunamis and hurt him so bad he earned his respect and a spot in this group and in his vision, and with that vision he'll get the respect that he deserves, and tonight he'll tsunami some respect into main event Jey Uso just like that. Then Rollins takes the mic and passes it back to Heyman, who does his introductory as per usual. He says tonight the Empire Strikes Back. Scratch that. Put that up on YouTube later. That's a blooper. Tonight the Empire Strikes First. And first on their list is Sami Zayn. And he's not gonna follow Bron's promo. If Sammy hasn't hightailed it back to Montreal, his butt is Bron's, not Paul's. Then Bronson Reed has Jey Uso, and he has love for his former bloodline member. But be honest, the tribal chief Roman Reigns doesn't have the coconuts to come back and step up against them. The OTC is MIA, an actor tonight, so will Jey. All thanks to the master of the tsunami. And now the big news. If you haven't heard, Seth Rollins is the biggest box office draw in this business. He'll don the tights tonight against Penta. He addresses Penta in Spanish and says he's not young, hip, bad, or bougie enough to understand Penta's hand signals. But by the time he gets stomped into the mat tonight, he'll be in no shape to do that ever again. And that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. Seth grabs the mic and says his voice covered everything, so there's only one thing left to do, and he welcomes us to Monday Night Rollins. Next, we get a recap of Judgment Day winning the tag titles last week, and cut back to the clubhouse where Finn Balor is polishing their belts. The rest of them leave and Raquel Rodriguez gets upset at a little shrine to Liv Morgan that's there. Roxanne Perez explains she made it for Dominic Mysterio, and Raquel points out that Liv isn't dead. Balor says it takes a long time to rehab shoulders. He was out for 8 months, Plus, it's a nice picture. Rodriguez tells Perez to hold up her end of the bargain and defend the titles with her, and then crosses herself and blows a kiss at Morgan's shrine anyway. The boys chat amongst themselves about going to Adam Pearce for a match, and Dom says get well soon. And there is a cake for Dominic Mysterio, and he looks at the cake more closely and realizes it's from AJ Styles, who pops up from behind the filing cabinet and does the "I got my eyes on you" gesture, leading Dom to whip his doctor's note out and remind Styles they have no contact. Next, we have our first match of the night. Kairi Sane makes her entrance as we get Kairi Sane versus Roxanne Perez. A circling collar and elbow gives way to clubbing blows and a mat slam from Perez into grounded punches. Raquel Rodriguez is cheering her on from ringside, putting Sane into the turnbuckles, scraping her face along the top rope into the next corner and then the next one. But Kyrie blocks and bounces Roxanne off the turnbuckles. Duck the back fist, side headlock applied, Sane with body blows, shooting her off into a mat slam from Perez. Off the rope, counter, side headlock again. Roxanne wrenches it in. Shot off, duck the back fist again. Perez goes to the apron and stuns Kyrie over the second rope, ducking and dodging. Sane with a sunset flip. Roxanne gets a near fall in return. A jackknife pin for a 2. A Custa into a bridging pin for another 2. A finger 4 head scissors from Kyrie, but Perez gets into the ropes and forces the break before hauling off with a huge slap across the face. Whip across, duck a lariat, roll over. Finally, the back fist connects, out, back in. Sane up top, but Roxanne cuts her off and knocks her down. A slingshot stomp to the wrist, and Kyrie bails to the floor to recover. Sane landing a running blockbuster, fired up. Sane hits a sliding elbow into the corner, which connects. Going up top, perching, Roxanne rolls under overrouted schoolboy pin for a 2. A basement super kick follows Perez off the ropes. She hits a corkscrew uppercut, a double jump moonsault, and a cover for a 1-2 kick out. ODE to Jim breaks, armbreaker connects. Kyrie is hurting, sidesteps the charge, flash kick, getting her up into a Alabama slam position, but Roxanne holds onto the ropes until she can reverse it into a divorce court. Off the ropes, a handspring knee drop across the back of the neck. No deal. Setting Kyrie up top, climbing to join her. Sane with a diving forearm smash, and she's fired back up. Charging lariat sidestepped. Roxanne tries to go up and over, but gets caught into the Alabama slam. Kyrie goes up top, but Rodriguez pulls her teammate out of the ring. Sane with a diving crossbody to wipe them both out. Perez throws Kyrie back inside. Rolling soul butt connects. Pop Rocks gets blocked into a backslide with a 1, 2, 3, and your winner of the match is Kairi Sane. Post-match, the Judgment Day women beat Zayn down, whooping her into a big boot from Rodriguez. Asuka makes the save, ducks a lariat, a shoulder block from Perez, a Unicron from Rodriguez, one for Roxanne too, but Raquel recovers and drops the Empress of Tomorrow with a huge lariat. Looking for the Tejana bomb, Sain recovers and saves Asuka with a drop kick, who then knocks Raquel down with the Empress impact. An inverted face lock on Perez, Kyrie off the top, and she hits the insane elbow. Asuka embraces Kyrie as we end that segment. Next we have the infographic for the Evolution, the 4 teams competing for the Women's Tag Team Champions. Sol Ruka, Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte Flair from SmackDown. Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors from Raw. And Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. So those are the 4 teams. We also get an announcement that Ava Raine will be making the entrance who participate in the Battle Royal known on tomorrow night's NXT. Next we have Nikki Bella cutting a promo about the Women's Battle Royal for Evolution. She talks about how it's been a few weeks since she came back and things have changed, and she didn't expect to get into an altercation with Liv Morgan. She came to pay respects to the women of today, and Liv questioned her and attacked her. This lit a fire inside her, and she has time to think, and now more than ever she knows she wants to go back into the ring and prove to the Bella Army what she can do. She wants to show her son what the WWE Universe has seen, and she's gonna go to battle. Indoor Battle Royal. She says she knows it won't be easy, and she'll be fighting some of the best women in WWE, but we all know she can win. Next we have Sami Zayn making his entrance to wrestle Bron Breakker, but Karrion Kross blindsides him on the ramp and whacks him with the steel pipe again. Referees and road agents and general manager Adam Pearce arrive to back him off and check on Sammy. Pearce calls for medics. After the commercial break, Sami Zayn is in the ring insisting that he can still have the match. Adam Pearce objects. The medics reason with Adam Pearce, telling him he can have the match. Adam asks Sammy, is he sure? Sammy says he's good, and Pearce lets him go. We have the match between Bron Breakker and Sami Zayn. Circling Breakker is wearing an evil grin, calling Zayn pathetic, knocking him down and hitting the fireman's carry double knee gutbuster, squatting over him, taunting him, grabbing a handful of hair and smashing him to the mat. Laying in wait, Bron charges in and Sammy gets a desperate lariat to take him off his feet. Dragging himself up into the turnbuckle, a back elbow, diving double axe handle, back up again, calling for more. Zayn dives right into a vicious spear from Bron Breakker, Sammy rolls to the floor, clutching his ribs in agony. Bron goes after him, runs around the ring, and hits a second spear. Michael Cole begs referee Chad Patton to stop the match. Breakker throws Zayn inside and takes the straps down. The crowd chants for a third spear, and Bron Breakker listens to him and hits the third spear and pins Sami Zayn 1, 2, 3, and your winner of the match is Bron Breakker. After the match, Sammy convulses and drive heaves and rolls to the apron. Backstage, Adam Pearce is chatting with the War Raiders when New Day roll up in mourning, wearing all black with veils and dark sunglasses. They explain that the tag division died when Judgment Day won the belts and ask where their rematch is. War Raiders remind them of how they didn't get automatic rematches, and Becky Lynch rolls up to agree with them and tell them they made the right call getting rid of Big E. Next, we come back from commercial and Becky Lynch is in the ring, the Intercontinental Champion, Women's Intercontinental Champion, and she is on the mic. She complains about being in a triple threat with two losers, but says she gets it. From Adam Pearce's perspective, she's the greatest women's wrestler of all time, and he needs her for Evolution. But neither Bayley nor Lyra Valkyria deserve a match, since she beat the both of them and she should get to pick her opponent. She picks some lady in the crowd and says she beat her in the second, before saying it's all a show and clearly Bayley and Lyra are in cahoots to get the title off of her. Do you know how statistically rare a double pin is in wrestling? Enter Bayley. Before she can speak, enter Lyra Valkyria. Valkyria says Bayley has finished her transformation into a complete raving lunatic. It's time she finally took her title back. Bayley rolls in and asks if she's kidding because she should be standing here as the WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, and if it weren't for Lyra 2 weeks ago. Valkyria mock acts like she's thrilled to hear from Bayley, and the role model says she doesn't need friends or partners, she just needs that title right there. Lynch says about 13 years of failed friendships and grimy hugs, another one bites the dust, eh? Lyra dropped her like a hot potato, didn't she? Valkyria explains that she didn't call Becky. Becky called her, and Lynch suggests there was a lot of hesitation in her voice there. Lyra tells Becky she can't get in her head, but it's nice of Bayley to finally admit she doesn't care about friendship, and says that makes her just like Lynch. So on Sunday, she has to rescue the title from two disappointments. Bayley counters that she watched her win the title and watched her rise to the top and became a double champion, just to lose her title and raise Becky's hand like a little female dog. That ticked Lyra off as she swung at Bayley but hit Becky. All three of them brawl. Bayley sent to the floor. A manhandle slam was attempted by Becky onto Lyra, but she countered it into the Nightwing. Bayley gets in the ring and gets a Nightwing for her troubles too. Valkyria grabs the title and raises Becky's hand and says this will be the last time that you will raise your hand in victory with the title. Next we have Jey Uso in the concourse to make his entrance. And then we start the match with Big Bronson Reed versus main event Jey Uso. A whoop to the corner. Reed with a big knee lift. Uso sidesteps. Right hands a big haymaker super kick connects. A drop down uppercut. A pump kick. Caught. But the enziguri sends Bronson Reed to the floor on the rebound. Jey follows it up, clearing the announce desk. Reed with a fireman's carry. Uso slips out and super kicks him right into an office chair. He super kicks him again and knocks the chair over with Bronson Reed in it. Jey backs in off the ropes. Bronson Reed chucks the chair into Jey Uso's face in the ring, and referee Jessica Carr waves off the match to call it. Jey Uso wins the match by disqualification. With Jey down, Bronson Reed heads to the top and hits the first tsunami. Then, not satisfied, he hits a second tsunami. And that's how the segment ends with main event Jey Uso laid out. Next we get a video package built around the fact that Rhea Ripley has never beaten Io Sky, but she welcomes the challenge. Next we have El Grande Americano versus Dragon Lee. We have back and forth into the turnbuckles, a big diving crossbody from Lee, a cover for a 2, a waist lock from Dragon, reverse to a wrist lock, a reverse back big arm drag from Americano, and he poses. A drop toe hold puts him into the turnbuckles. A monkey flip, but Grande lands on his feet. Lee with a drop kick clotheslines to the floor. A baseball slide sends Americano over the desk. Off the ropes, Americano cuts Lee off with a kick, pulls him to the floor, throws him into the steel steps. Dragon goes into the barricade as we go to commercial. Back from commercial, Americano tears at Dragon Lee's mask, but Dragon Lee blocks him from taking it off. He goes up top, Lee gets under him, Liger bomb connects. 1, 2, no. Lee pressing to attack, a slingshot drop kick from the apron, in, fired up, a big hesitation, drop kick, 1, 2, no again. A rope walk blockbuster from Grande. Dragon gets him cut off, a tree of woe double stomp. The pin attempt is 1, 2, no. To the floor, a Tapu Kangaro, back inside, Lee. Off the top rope, nobody home. Americano with the torpedo headbutt. And he goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. And El Grande Americano, Ludwig Kaiser, wins the match with a running headbutt. Next we have the World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther, making his way to the ring, and he gets on the mic. He says that Saturday he'll defend his WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Bill Goldberg. In the last 2 weeks, he's been verbally abusing him, and he has done nothing about it so far. So he can only assume that Bill is afraid of him and of the pressure. And he gets interrupted by Bill Goldberg rolling up to the arena in a red vintage muscle car, and gets out and makes his entrance. He storms right into the ring, gets in front of Gunther and decks him with a right hand. He goes for the spear, but Gunther bails and runs away. Next is the main event. Penta versus the 2025 Mr. Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins. From the start of the match, Penta targets Seth's knee. From the jump, throwing Rollins back in, breaking the count. Seth rolls out the far end and Penta cuts him off and bounces him off the announce desk, posing for the crowd, going for a big chop, but Rollins ducks and he chops the steel ring post. Oof, that sounds painful. Seth throws him into the timekeeper's area and breaks the count, but Penta returns with a Frankensteiner off the barricade. Back inside, fired up, Seth cuts him off with a axe handle and stomps, chops into the corner, chugging him to the floor, and Penta cuts him off with a Topo Con Gyro. Both men are down and out. As we come back from the commercial, they're both slugging it out. Penta goes for a sling blade. Enziguri in the corner. A slingshot headstand double stomp. Rollins makes the comeback. A frog splash for a 1-2 kick out by Penta. Penta lands a Frankensteiner. Then follows it up with a Penta driver. 1, 2, 299. Rollins kicks out. Rollins lands a buckle bomb, but Penta, after the buckle bomb, hits his Canadian Destroyer. And after that, he goes for the pin. 1-2, Seth Rollins grabs the bottom rope to break the count. Next, Seth headbutts Penta down low without the referee seeing it. Then he charges in and hits the stomp for the 1, 2, 3. And your winner of the main event of Monday Night Raw, Mr. Money in the Bank, Seth freaking Rollins. After the match, Rollins tells Paul Heyman to call him out now, and Paul agrees, calling them on the phone, leading to the Braun and Braun connection coming to the stage. But before they can get in the ring, LA Knight appears from out of the crowd and lands Seth out with a blunt force trauma. Seth splutters and spins and slowly recovers, while LA Knight celebrates with the crowd and leaves. And that's how Monday Night Raw ends. Thank you for watching this premiere with me. I'm gonna give this a 8 out of 10. That Penta versus Seth match was excellent. And they're prepping up for WWE Evolution Saturday night main event and getting ready for the build up for this weekend. And I think they're doing a good job. Take care, everybody. Peace.